Welcome to Season 2, Episode 10 of Tech Talk Thursday. My guest today is Ollie Thers from a company called SMT Renting. Setting up a new EMS factory or updating an existing one can be a capital-intensive process. My next guest will describe a unique business model that frees up much-needed working capital, allows more flexibility, and potentially saves up to 50% in operating costs. That is our topic for this week. Now, let's meet our guest, Ollie Thers. Ollie, thank you for joining us today. Nice to see you. You're calling in today, I believe, from Denmark. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. I'm sitting in Copenhagen.
Okay, good. So you have got a very unique business, which is renting equipment to EMS companies and OEMs, I guess. It's not a new business, renting. It's something that's been around for quite a while. Others have tried it before you. I recall Assembleon doing it with their robot heads, and ASM did it as well with a leasing arrangement. It didn't particularly work that well. What makes it so different for you?
I think what we do is much more than both Assembleon and ASM has done in the past. What we do is normally, I would say, in many cases, is total line solutions. That means from the screen printer to the pick and place to the reflow, to having maybe AOI or SPI involved in the total line. So we do the total renting of the total line for that particular customer. Mm-hmm. And the customer can swap out in the middle of the contract. Maybe he needs a new printer, a faster printer, or a more flexible pick and place machine, or another or longer reflow oven, or maybe he even wants to have, let's say, a screen printer swap to an AOI or whatever. So we are very flexible with our total renting concept and solutions for the whole electronic manufacturing industry in Europe. Yeah.
Right. So basically, they can choose any type of equipment, but it has to be within the top 5 manufacturers of each type. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we intend to work with, as you mentioned, the top 5 manufacturers, because again, when we had to outplace the systems again, let's say a total line comes back to us after 36 months, we will replace it into the market somewhere. And making sure that we have, let's say, a brand which is known into the market, and making it that makes our life easier, and also for the customer, for that matter, they're much more. So we intend to work with the top 5 within printers, ovens, pick and place, etc. So yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So there's quite a few components to your company, SMT House Group. I'm going to bring a slide up here that's going to show you a little bit about the different components. Can you talk us through essentially how these work together?
Yeah. Actually, when we started the company back in 2013, we started with SMT House. And SMT House where all the sales people was involved in, and also service people for that matter. But as we grew over the years, the first years we started with having external financing and using external leasing companies where we took the rest value into our books. But as we grew over the years, then in 2015 we found out that it's easier to have our own leasing company. Also because what we do is we do cross borders, and when a normal leasing company wants to, and if you want to take a SMT line over cross border from one country to the other, that it makes life difficult when working with let's say, normal leasing companies. So we started our own leasing company called SMT Renting in 2015, and then basically we are financing everything ourselves and renting it out to the industry.
So are you working with private investors then that have invested in your company? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah, that's how we started up the renting business, because as you can maybe imagine that it requires a certain amount of capital when you're going out to buy all this equipment from different manufacturers. Yes, so we have private investors into our company.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at the situation for a typical EMS manufacturer who's wanting to upgrade his line. He's got a lot of legacy equipment in the factory. is he able to trade that in when he comes to do a deal with you, or how does it work?
Yeah. What we do is that first of all we find out together with the customer what sort of equipment does he actually need, and what's the cost also around it. So we try to tailor the whole contract for that particular period of time, depending. I can see we rent out equipment from 18 months up to 60 months. That's the normal period which we are doing, and therefore we tailor the contract around him within that certain time frame. What we then also do is that we make sure that we also service the equipment, which you see SMT services, which is a part of the slide there, because it's important that all the machines, all the equipment are serviced within the time frame and within the requirements from the suppliers. But going back to your question, is that when let's say a customer has an old line, 10 years old or longer, he can swap in his old equipment, so we take back the old equipment, and you get him a new fresh SMT line within the renting concept, and that is where we intend to sell out the old equipment through what you saw on the slide there, called budget SMT. So a lot of equipment which will come back will go out through that channel and be sold out to brokers or to, let's say, there's normally what we call first-time users, second-time users, and third-time users. And normally it's the third-time users which would take care of this equipment.
Okay, so I mean, a lot of EMS companies, don't know what they're going to be making in 6 months. I mean, let's say, for example, a customer puts in a new line to you, and in 6 months' time, he says to you, well, we've got the chance to take on another job here, but it requires cleaning. We don't have cleaning equipment. Can we add cleaning equipment to the project we're already doing with you? Is that something he can do? Can he be flexible like that and just use that for the period that he needs it?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, Trevor, because actually we did this with a particular customer where they had a certain line from us and they got this extra job, and they said, we only get this job for, I think it was 24 months. So can we rent this capacity for that particular time slot and then send it back to you? And so yes, we can do this. So we can tailor again the amount of equipment and the capacity around the customer for that certain time period, so it matches so he also can win his business. And I think this is really the essence of our concept.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what's the benefit to the manufacturer for not, having this equipment on his balance sheet, for doing it this way?
I think many of our customers, they're talking about working capital, and it's about releasing a lot of working capital into their own company. And if you're sitting as an EMS company, and you, first of all, you want to have a lot of flexibility. You don't want to have a bought equipment which is where you have to look, let's say, 10 years ahead or 6 years ahead, because their contracts are normally only 24 months, so they want to be flexible. So making sure that you have working capital for developing your company, and I know normally EMS companies, they need a lot of cash for buying either PCBs or components or to make their production run.
Yeah.
So releasing the cash from the equipment and just renting it as you need it, this is really unique, and this is if I speak to many of our customers, this is the essence for the CEO and the CFOs to have this out of the books and get more working capital into the company. Yeah.
And so then, how does it then compare to standard leasing?
Yeah. Again, a bank or a leasing company, they are not willing to take back the equipment after the certain period. So you can say, if you only need a certain capacity or technology for, let's say, 24 months or 36 months, if you go to a bank or to a leasing company, then they will reduce the rest value to a low minimum, where we go in and take a much higher residual value, because we know we will find customer number 2 after this period of 24 or 36 months. So our pricing should be significant different compared to a leasing company. And the other thing is that in many cases, we have already contracts with the suppliers, with these known as these top 5 suppliers, as we just talked about, where we have good purchases, agreed pricing, which benefits to our customers as well. So the more we can purchase at a certain supplier, the better pricing we also are able to obtain for our customers. So this is one of the big benefits. So both more flexible and hopefully also cheaper at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been quite successful with this, Ollie. I mean, you've got over 75 lines in the field in Europe. Or principally in Europe. So you must have quite a bit of buying power, I would have thought, that you could pass on to customers.
Exactly. So yes, you're right. We have 75 contract customers all over Europe, and they're not all lines. I have to be honest with you. It's not all lines. It's also individual machines also. But our intention is definitely total lines, because it makes more sense for the customer that we give them a total package. But yeah, I think we have been quite successful, and I think this is the way forward for the future. People want to be flexible and be able to change to new demands.
Big data, artificial intelligence, and smart factory solutions are here now. Automated optical inspection is critical in a smart factory environment. Leading the way to Industry 4.0, Murtec invites you to the smart factory of the future.
I mean, you've had a couple of big wins, I believe, using this model. And in fact, you've got a slide that we can take a look at now that's going to show us how one customer really benefited from this. You can see, or talk us through this case here. We've got customer A, who's got, actually tells you what he's got. He's got, is that 11 MyData machines, 5 Juki 1s, 2 Juki 2s?
And this is actually, it's one MyData line and one Juki line, three Juki lines. But this is the products. You should see different products which has been run on the different machines and setup time, etc. Right. So this customer has four SMT lines.
Okay.
But before we start with it, I think what we like to offer to our customer is more what we call fleet management concept, where we make sure that they always have the best production equipment on the factory floor, which to give them the best efficiency and the lowest cost.
Can you explain to us on this slide what we're looking at?
Yeah, what we're looking is that we will optimize the customer's SMT fleet. And that means that we will come out and look at the capacity and technology, what the real requirements are. Mm-hmm. We can help with this equipment selection from what we call the relevant suppliers and what the latest innovations which they have. Mm-hmm. We are taking care of the procurement because we are purchasing it. So the customer will benefit from our purchasing power, and we are negotiating all the pricing, and we make sure we have all the technical details and installation and training around the customer. So we take care of the whole, let's say, equipment phase and doing all of that. And at the bottom, you see the performance and monitoring of health check. That means that we can come in and we do a monitoring of his production, which you actually will show in the customer case, which we show below, because this is actually quite interesting, where we help a customer to go from 4 lines to 2 lines. This customer case A shows that he has today 4 SMT lines, mm-hmm. But he's using 404 hours to make this production happen. In the new scenario, which we have proposed to them here, is that he basically goes and produces exactly the same, and we can do that in only 168 hours. And he can go from his, let's say, old SMT lines to only 2 new lines. So that means we bring him down from 3 shifts, 5 days a week, down to 1 shift, 5 days a week. That means, first of all, less investment and less people and less heating, less energy consumption, etc., etc. And this is actually what we have done in showing the customers that we can save them a lot of money. And this is the concept which we are rolling out this year, where we call it SMT Fleet Management. So we make sure going in, analyzing the customer's need and making sure he has the right equipment to service his customers in his manufacturing side.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, in fact, it reminds me of the principal difference between Asian manufacturers and European manufacturers. In Asia, because they're doing so much high volume, they're very prone to not replacing machines in onesies and twosies, but actually replacing the whole line to get the efficiency. Yeah. What you're showing in this example here is a customer making this amount of product on 4 lines and reducing that down to 2, reducing the number of operators on it, reducing the time taken from 404 hours down to 169, and of course all the other savings of energy, etc. with it. So that is really considerable. So this is basically what you're trying to move forward with. Yeah. Obviously, when you're using state-of-the-art equipment and new equipment, you're going to get more efficiency. You're going to be able to get things to run a lot easier. And there'll be much less machine downtime. Going forward, towards the smart factory environment, where we're got machines talking to each other and you're getting much more efficiency on the line. Is this something that you're looking to incorporate into your systems going forward?
Yes, this is what we would like to do, and we want to make sure that there's new technology so we can go in and see how are the lines actually performing. We are not there yet, but we are fully aware there are these systems and we can integrate them software-wise within our concept. So this is definitely the way we want to go. I even want to go this far as basically a customer comes into us and basically forecast, let's say, X amount of placements in a year or in 3 years, and he only pays according to what he's using. We're not there yet, Trevor, but that's really that's my dream scenario, which we would like to offer to our customers in the future. But yes, so this is hopefully the next steps we are moving into.
That's pretty ambitious, but I mean, it's a great idea. It really is. You're going to have a situation where you have a lot less machine downtime than you currently have in a lot of these factories to be able to make that work.
Yeah. But we're not there yet either. So, but that's where we would like to go.
Yeah. It's a fascinating business model, Ole. It really is, and as you say, you're doing it European-wide at the moment. Perhaps in the future you'll go further afield. But if somebody wants to get in contact with your company, I assume you're headquartered in Denmark. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm sitting in Denmark. Actually, we are located in Sweden, but you can go to the website smt/renting.com, and you'll find all the information there. And there's also campaigns coming up which we are mailing out. So this is where you find a lot of information and being able to contact us.
Yeah, and you just finished an installation, I believe, in Estonia. Yeah. In fact, we were hoping to get up there to see it ourselves and film it, but because of COVID, we couldn't make it. But how did that go?
It went very well. Of course, there was not as many as people as that could travel. I could not travel either. We were not allowed to travel either. So it was the local Estonian people who were there. But I know they had a great day, and the mayor was there, and so there was a lot of things. So they had a good day, a really good day. So I will share some of the pictures with you because they sent it to me. So I will make sure I send something to you as well, Trevor.
Right. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah. Well, Ole, I wish you the very best of luck with this, and I want to thank you for telling us about it today.
And thank you for inviting me, and hope to see you soon. And stay safe, by the way.
Well, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend and stay safe.
Global SMT and Packaging opens the windows of the world to bring you the latest news and technologies from Munich, from Bangalore, from Shanghai, from San Diego.